Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, every changeling? I know I sound a little sad right now. It's because of what's coming up next. As you may have known, the holidays are coming up, and I just finished watching this Garfield and Friends. As you're looking at, I know I sound down. I know I sound a little sad, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to the holidays, and I know that this is November. It's sort of like we got one more. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and then Thursday, Thanksgiving, and then Black Friday. The reason I'm making this video is because I think I made this video last year talking about this, and I really don't know if I if I did make a video talking about this, but I'm going to talk about it now. As you may have known, I'm a huge Garfield and Friends. I grew up with Garfield. I grew up with the franchise. I grew up watching the shows and watching the cartoon when I was a kid. And when I watched this Garfield and Friend episode of the Christmas special, this particular scene that you're looking at right now with Garfield with John's mother, I think it's John's Arbuckle's mother in the rocking chair with Garfield in her lap. And it got me thinking that I think a lot of people get sad on Christmas because they miss the old days. They miss their childhood. They miss the good days. You may have lost someone during the holidays, and heck, you might have lost a loved one during the holiday season, and you wish they would be back. You might have missed. You might have just missed your old days of waking up as a kid, going downstairs, opening presents, and loving Christmas for what it is. And I'm gonna bring up the new thing about Christmas. Nowadays, it's all about giving gifts and getting stuff what you want, and everyone wants give, get. And the commercials blow Christmas out the yin yang and want to make it more. It's like all about for money. But the true meaning of Christmas is being with family and friends that love you. Remembering the past, opening the gifts. Remember the times when you were little and cherish the memories to bring it down to the next generation of kids. See, I'm a 90s kid. I grew up in the 90s, in the 2000s. I was a 90s kid in 2000. I'm a millennial. And I grew up loving Christmas for what it is. I remember we have a box of VHS tapes of us opening gifts on Christmas Day. And I remember getting my drum, like I have a drum set I play. That drum set I got on Christmas Day. And I remember I was so happy getting it. I remember getting other gifts too when I was a kid. I think one of the gifts I got from my dad was a radio I got for Christmas. And I still have that radio to this day. I still have Christmas gifts I got from when I was a kid. I'm going to tell you right now, it is nice to get gifts on Christmas. It is really nice to get gifts. It is really nice. But the thing is, I think we've lost the meaning of Christmas. Everyone has. I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to be a Scrooge, but I'm trying to say with loved ones that passed away. Now, this is what I cannot play the video because I get hit with a copyright strike. But John Arbuckle's grandmother in this picture said this. It was her husband's favorite time of the year was Christmas because it didn't matter how much money he made. It didn't matter how much he made. Because you got to think John Arbuckle's mom, when John Arbuckle was born, I guess, because this is based off the 80s what the show is based off of. You got to think John Arbuckle was probably born in the early mid 70s. I might be wrong on that. And you got to think that struggling to get gifts for them, probably back in the 60s, maybe the 60s, maybe wrong, the 60s, to get gifts for John Arbuckle and his brother. And you got to think what John Arbuckle's mother was saying, that they were happy what they got. It didn't matter how much money. He tried his best to get the kids what they wanted for Christmas. And that's what the plot is in this scene in the movie. Her husband did the best they could to make them happy on Christmas. And that's the thing about Christmas nowadays, where everything is expensive. And I know Christmas is going to be really hard this year. It's going to be very, very hard. A lot of people can't afford to get what we want. A lot of people just can't afford to get food. Like, food's expensive now. It's really sad because now that's why we have Salvation Armies right now, doing this for kids and the needy. But like I said, look at it this way. Christmas is a time to be with your family and friends. It's a time to love each and every one of us. And watching this scene from Garfield and Friends, I cry every time seeing this. Because I feel like her. I miss my grandmother. I miss my mom, my papa, my grandpa. I miss my loved ones that passed on. And I want the old Christmas back. I want the old ones. But take it from me, from Rainbow Fire the Unicorn. You have to pass, like, even if you can't do what you did when you were a kid, like relive with your loved ones to pass down the generations of what we done. Heck, my grandmother used to have a macaroni recipe. Every year we would cook her macaroni. My grandma would cook this macaroni. And I love macaroni and cheese. And my grandmother would make this recipe every year on Christmas and on Thanksgiving. But when she passed away, we lost the recipe. Luckily, someone in my family knows how to cook it. And now we cook. Now we pass on that tradition to cook that recipe on Christmas and on Thanksgiving. I'm so thankful we still have my grandmom's recipe ever since she passed away. And the point of this scene of Garfield and Friends, this scene is to keep the memories going. Never stop traditions from Christmas. If you have to change traditions, like you have to do something different, because one of our Christmas traditions for the cards and stuff was to make a pyramid. A pyramid. What is that? All of us in the family would not stand on each other, but we will get on our knees on the bottom, and then we would just make a pyramid of us just climbing on up top of each other. We'd take a real quick picture and get off. I was always on the bottom because I was the strongest, and then the younger ones would get on the top. It was like a family tradition, like of us and our kids, like our members, cousins, and whatever. That was like something we always did. We don't do it anymore because we don't get together like we used to. Our Christmas traditions was to go over to my grandmom's house and my other grandmom's house for Christmas. We go there to eat. We get open gifts, and then the next we leave from our house for Christmas to go to their house to go eat, then open gifts, and then we go over to their house to go open gifts, and then eat. Christmas Eve, same thing. We would go over to my grandmom's, open gifts, and then going back home. But now we don't do that because when my grandma passed away, that's it. Everything's changed. Now I just go to my relative's house for Christmas and Christmas Eve. It's a real sad thing because I miss them days. I missed Christmas that I grew up with. And that's what Garfield's Christmas was about in this scene. And every time I see this scene, I cry because I miss the old Christmases. You got to think, there was a time that we didn't have technology. We didn't have phones. We didn't have tablets. We didn't have all this. All we had was a video camera from the 80s or 1985 or 88 camera, or not, like early 85 or 86 or 84 camera, or some kind of old film reel. And that's all we had. That's what we filmed our Christmases on. That was our memories, our VHS tapes. This noise you're hearing, a VHS. This is all we had. This is all we had to film our Christmases. Trying to do some. Yeah, this is all we had. All we had was this thing to record our Christmases on. Oops. Was this. On this. That's all we had, VHS, to record our Christmases on. Nowadays, you got DVDs, you got your phones, you record everything. And when you pop one of these tapes in, and you listen, and you play the Christmas home videos, sometimes you will tear up because you miss them days. You miss Christmas. You miss the old days. And seeing the scene from Garfield makes me cry every time because you want to go back. You want to see those old days. You want to see yourself opening gifts when you were young. And the thing about Christmas is that people don't understand. It's not about the gifts. It's not about the advertisements. It's not about what you want. It's about caring for each other. And it's about love, being with people that you care about. And that's what Christmas is about. If you haven't seen Garfield and Friends Christmas special, please watch it. And you'll know what I'm saying. Because this scene right here makes me cry every time I see it. Because I think we lost the true meaning of Christmas every year. It's all about how advertisers are going to spend to make more money nowadays and how they're going to get and all that. Don't get me wrong. It is nice to get gifts. It is very cool to get gifts on Christmas. And yes, if you're a kid and you're really excited to get gifts, hey, that's the beauty of Christmas. But you got to think, some kids, you got to realize that it's not about the gifts. It's about the family and friends. And there's sometimes I do forget what Christmas is about because I'm trying to hurry up and buy the right gift. And I'm going to say this right now. I think the best gift to give for a family member or whatever is to make it yourself. I love drawing, and I would draw gifts I actually drew something for my dad, and he loved that gift. It's still hanging on the wall to this day. I drew him a picture of his old car when he was young. A Mustang. A white Mustang. And I drew that picture, and he loves that gift. But I want to say this to wrap this up. Christmas is not about the gifts. It's not about the advertisements. It's about family and friends. And this scene of Garfield, you want to remember them days. You want to remember it. You want to remember the old days of Christmas. And I know that it's really hard. Always hype up your kids. Say, hey, Santa Claus is going to give you some cool gifts. And that's the cool thing about Christmas. Kids will believe in Santa. And that's the magical time of the year. And here's a good thing to do, too. Watch some home videos of you when you're little. Heck, share them with your family members, your kids. Show them some home videos of you when you open gifts. That's a great tradition. But yeah. So check out Garfield's Christmas. Please check this out. You'll know what I'm saying. Please check this out. Garfield's Christmas. Garfield and Friends. But yeah, guys, I got to wrap this up. I know I'm making an early Christmas video, but I hope you guys enjoyed this. But guys, I love each and every one of you. Happy holidays. I hope you guys have a good Thanksgiving. And don't eat too much turkey. and pumpkin pie. Yeah, I like Garfield, but yeah. That's it, guys. Hope you have a good one. This is Rainbow 5 the Unicorn. You know, this is the last unicorn. Peace.